G'day and welcome to Wine Week. I'm Danny.
And I'm Brad.
And this week I'm going to kick off with a sparkling. Now this is a Taltani Brut champagne style sparkling, and I do say champagne style because basically the way they've built this is very much in that champagne method, basically having kind of yeast and lees sitting in the bottle, that exact bottle that you'll buy, disgorging it later on, very much following that French method of building champagne, and it builds a really good wine. Now, one of the interesting things is that Taltani, they are a Pyrenees winemaker, the Victorian Pyrenees. We haven't done a lot of them because I guess sometimes some of the wine from around that region tends to be a little exy. This at $20 isn't that exy at all, certainly not for something that's a drinkable sparkling, but also, like many of the great kind of sparkling producers in Australia now, they're dragging some of their grapes from Tasmania. You know, cool climate Chardonnay component to this really helps to lift it and make sure it's got that kind of bright, clean, fresh sort of flavours, while at the same time the old champagne method basically making sure that you've got some buttery finish in the mouth. So look out for that, the Taltani Brut.
Yeah, pretty good sparkling for just under $20. So have a look. I'm going to have a look at an up-and-coming winery. This is SC Pennell, which is Steve Pennell in McLaren Vale. And this is a little wine that he produces called the Pronto. This is the 2006 version of the wine, and it's a real little cracker, this one. Comes in around the mid-20s, and it's mainly a Grenache-based wine. Steve has only really been going out on his own for the last sort of 3 or 4 years. Before that, he was working with Hardy's and doing some great work with them. He's building up his own wines now and doing some really good work with Shiraz and Grenache mainly. This one is built as a drink now proposition, so it's not the one that you'd recommend to put away for a few years. This one, you go down to the bottle shop and you open it up that night, and it is drinking really well. It's mainly Grenache, but it does have a drop of Shiraz in there, and also another Spanish grape variety called Touriga, which you don't see a lot of in the red table wines in Australia. But it's a really good blend because the Grenache is quite a well-rounded flavour and drinks really well now. Mid-20s, you know, it's not that expensive, but you're getting some really good quality fruit here. So it's the SC Pennell, and really look out for these other wines. They're doing some really good stuff.
Yeah. Now, speaking of drink now sort of wines, the last one that we're going to have a look at is the Jacobs Creek Reserve Cab Sav from 2004. Now, it's interesting when you're a big enough company that your reserve is still only kind of that $20 mark and under. This comes in retail at about $18. We picked it up for well under the $15 mark. Absolute bargain in this territory. Now, last year we raved, well, at least I raved, on and on and on about 2004 Cab Savs. It was just great growing all around the place, and that's definitely shown in this, the Jacobs Creek. Now, classic kind of chocolatey, minty, sort of leafy characters in it. It's just a great wine, it really is. And you know, a little bit of American oak in it. I really enjoy that on the Cab Sav. It kind of brings some of that vanilla through. You know, a little bit of tannin to make sure it's got some structure. Another great 04, and this one, as I say at the moment, well under the $15 mark. If you can find it at that, you need to be buying this because, gee, it's just awesome drinking right at the moment for bugger all money. So that's the Jacobs Creek Cab Sav Reserve. Look out for that one.
Yep, and look, both the Reserve Cabernet and the Shiraz, really good value at under $15.
They certainly are. Now that's it for this week, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week on Wine Week.
See you next week.